We'll be talking about social superposition. And what does it mean? You you can take it like multiple identities at one point of time. So in continuation to our series that we have started, we'll be talking about the quantum mechanics of society. And certainly in continuation to our previous argument, particles to pupil. And today we'll be talking about the superposition in a society, in a social structure. That's the basic argument that we're going to play right now. That's the argument that we would like to try to understand uh, in this video. So let me tell you that have you ever felt that you're not just one person? This is the basic argument that you are not just one person, that within you there are many versions of you. I mean, there are many things that coexist quietly existing inside you. One version that speaks gently, it's one face of it. Another that that reacts with anger. That's another version of you. That's another version of me. One that dreams. Another that fears. So a person has different versions. And sometimes you surprise even yourself. You are not realistic about it, but you surprise yourself with a new version. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Are you a single fixed identity or a collection of possibilities? And the answer is very simple. You'll say, you are a collection of possibilities. I am a collection of possibilities. And in physics, there exists a strange and beautiful idea, a beautiful mathematical argument, an idea that says, an idea that states, an idea that's confirmed experimentally. A particle can exist in multiple states at the same point of time. So there's a huge, grossly connection, not one, but many. And this idea is called superposition. This is quantum mechanical superposition. And today we'll be talking about this superposition in the framework of a society. Can we see, can we observe the glimpses of this principle in a social structure, into the human world, into society, into you, into me? And this is something that we are going to talk about, we are going to think about, and we are going to come up with some of the arguments that will try to explore the social structure. So social superposition, this is the argument, how humans hold multiple identities at once. And this is certainly, we're trying to connect to the previous lecture, the previously that we talked about, from particles to the pupil. In our previous lecture, in our previous video, we discovered something important. And what was that important that we discovered in the previous video? It was that society is not classical. The society does not obey the classical laws of physics. Humans are not predictable machines. Because if you see any classical machine, a computer is a classical machine, it's exactly predictable. Your input will govern your output. We are dynamic, contextual, and full of possibilities. And today we go one step deeper in this argument. We ask, what we ask is that if humans are not fixed, then what are we? A computer is working on the fixed commands. You do anything on a computer, on a classical computer, it gives you an output that's completely predictable. So here, the first argument is understanding the superposition in simple terms. First, we would like to understand this quantum mechanical superposition. And to understand superposition, let's begin with a very simple idea, with a very simple argument. In classical thinking, as I said, in classical thinking, a thing has one state at one time. This is how our computers work. The action of our computer goes, a car works, a machine works. A light is on or off. A door is open or closed. This is what classical physics is about. But in quantum mechanical thinking, in the framework of quantum mechanics, a system can exist in many states. A system can exist in multiple states simultaneously. This is what makes a quantum mechanical system different from that of classical system. It is not either or, but both together. For a computer, it's either or. But in quantum version, you have both the states. Let that sink in. Let's go deep into this idea. And take this idea, take a transition of this principle to the human reality. Now look at yourself. Are you just one thing? Are you just one state? Or many things at once? So the argument is saying many states at once or just one state at once. You are, if I take it in a very, very simplistic terms, you are a family member. You are a professional. You are a friend. You are a thinker. You are a believer. And you are a doubter. And these are not separate. These are not the separate states. These are not the separate lives. All of these lives exist. They exist together within you. All of these things that I stated as an example. And this is something what I may call as the social superposition. Now, you have many identities in just one person. Many identifications, many states. Now let's explore this idea. Let's move on with this idea and try to go deeper in this idea. When you wake up in the morning, you wake up in the morning and you're at home. And at home, maybe you're calm, you're respectful, you're emotionally connected to your parents, to your spouse, to your kids, and then you're at work, you're disciplined, you're logical, perhaps sometimes you're authoritative. You have a different mode when you are in the office. And when you are with friends, you are relaxed, humorous, you're open. You can express anything in front of your friends. Now ask yourself a question. Which one is the real of you? The one at the home, the one at the office, the one at your friends. So the person that was calm in the morning in the home, was that person a real person? Or the serious one who was in the office? Or the one who was playful? The answer is powerful. To answer this question is, you are all of them. All of them are real. They are not the masks. They are the real of you. They are possibilities. They are the possibilities that are existing within you. Let's quote an example for this. Let's take an example of a teacher. Say, for example, if we think about a teacher. Imagine you have a teacher, and this teacher is in the classroom. Now, generally, a teacher can be strict, it can be focused, it can be authoritative, and at home, he is loving, soft, caring. You have a teacher, and with colleagues, they are collaborative, they are friends, they are enemies, they're intellectuals. You have a teacher, and this teacher has different frames. Now, imagine a student. A student sees the teacher, say, for example, a student sees that the teacher is laughing loudly outside. The student gets surprised. The teacher is laughing outside. And why the student is surprised? When he is observing that the teacher is laughing. Why? Because the student believed in only one version of the teacher. The framework that I talked about, the teacher in the classroom. But the reality is richer. The reality is far more than it appears to be. The teacher exists in multiple identities simultaneously. His existence is a superposition of all of these frameworks. So identity is not fixed. Identity is contextual. Now here is a crucial idea. Identity is, as I said, it is not fixed. It is basically activated, just like in quantum systems, just like in quantum mechanical frameworks. And what happens there? You have multiple states existing. These states exist, but depending on the situation, here one becomes visible. The quantum mechanical system has many states, but only one becomes visible. When you try to observe it, if you have a silent person, a person is sitting silent and then he starts speaking. You may know someone who is very quiet, but one day in in a in a certain situation they speak on, and on the other situations they don't speak. In certain situations they speak with confidence and power. You feel shocked. Hey, come on, this man remains most of the times silent. And what you say? You say, I never thought that they could speak like this, because most of the times they were silent. But the truth is, the reality is that ability was always there. That ability was always there, even when he was silent, he or she was silent. It was just not expressed. It was part, it was part of their superposition. It was the part of the superposition that were existing in that person. And which part was that? The part was the moment he spoke. And let me tell you frankly, there are always internal conflicts. And this is a sign of superposition. We are talking about human beings. And have you ever felt torn between decisions? And you won't find one who is not. Everybody is mingled. And one part of you says, come on, I'll do it. And another part inside says, don't do it. You have multiple things happening inside. One part wants risk, and another part wants safety. They're going on inside us. They are living in that superposition. You feel you're confused. They feel they are confused. This is not confusion. Come on. This is evidence. This proves the argument. The evidence that within you, within me, there exist multiple identities. Multiple of your identities live, they coexist, each with its own voice. All of these characters are living in us, each with its own desire. Let me take to you another example. You can have something like, if I quote it down, like moral dilemma. And what am I trying to tell here is that imagine you see someone doing something wrong. There's some person, and this person is doing wrong from your point of view. And one part of you says, "Come on, I'll speak up. I'll speak up before him and I'll tell him that you're doing wrong." And another part of you says, better to stay silent. Both the arguments that I talked about, both of these characters are real. Both of these states are real. And both of these states exist at the same point of time. Until you act. And when you get the power of action, you come up with just one. You are in a state of superposition. Now, let me take you to another part, because my core argument is the society. And society as a network of superpositions. Now, the society is becoming a network. It's a network. But that network is not absolute. That network is working on superpositions. Now let's expand this idea. Expand this idea that I was fixing on a human being. It is not just for an individual. It's not just for an individual. Society itself is a network of superpositions. Now, society is at macroscopic level. Now, every person you meet, every person you interact is not the one with a fixed identity. They are all living in those superpositions. They are fields, basically. They're not even particles. They are fields of possibilities. This is how we can feel about the superposition of the society. Like if I take an example of misjudging the pupil. Maybe you meet someone and they behave rudely. You don't expect that kind of rude behavior from that. What do you conclude? At that point of time, what you conclude is that this person is rude. Come on. So you are identifying that person. You're telling that this person is rude. But is that the reality? Is that the truth about that person? Or did you observe just one state of that person? See how quantum mechanics is becoming beautiful when you are taking it for a voyage to a human behavior. Maybe those people who were rude, maybe they were stressed. Maybe they were tired, exhausted, feeling a lot of fatigue. Maybe they were reacting to something unseen. You observed. You just observed one outcome of that person. You just observed one state of that person. But that person is filled with large number of states. So that's not the reality of that person. That is not the full reality of that person. This is how we can understand it. This is how we can connect it. So you cannot label somebody. So there are dangers of these labels. Society often tries to simplify people, the network that you have. What we do is we simply label them. We say good or bad, strong or weak, intelligent, foolish, or something between intelligent and foolish. But these labels are dangerous because they don't tell you the truth of any person living on the planet, because they freeze a person. They freeze a person into just one single identity. While reality says a person, an individual is a spectrum. It's a long range of wavelengths, long range of colors. It's not a point. Now let's move forward with another example. A child, if I assume a child is in a school, a child is called weak. Come on, this child is weak in studies. The label, the label sticks to the child. This child is weak. But maybe the same child whom you labeled as a weak child is creative, is emotionally intelligent. So labeling a child as a weak child is wrong. And he has talents, but these talents are not discovered yet. The system collapsed their identity too early because there could have been many more possibilities. But as you label the child, you're losing the job. It ignored the superposition that might be existing in this child, that is existing in the child. So, like, might be. And now, if we think about the social roles as quantum states, let us try to reframe the roles. Let's try to rebuild. Roles are not permanent identities. They're like quantum states. You have a role, everybody has a role, everybody has a role. But all of these roles are basically the quantum states. And these quantum states are activated by the context in which these rules are living. You are not permanently anything. You are not permanently a human. Just one human. You become depending on interactions. You are infinite number of humans in you. So what are you? As I said, are you your job? Are you your name? Are you your personality? Or are you something more fundamental than that? Are you something more deeper than that? What you are is you are a collection of potentials. You are a potential, you are a collection of potentials. And within you, I feel like freedom is hidden in this superposition. Can we think in terms of this? This idea is not just philosophical. Do you have a hidden freedom? Because you're living in those superpositions. It's something liberating. It's something providing us a state of freedom. Because if you are not fixed like classical one, that means you are not limited. You are not trapped. You can change. Your quantum states can change. grow, transform at any moment, at any point of time. And there is always a new version of you can emerge. You can be updated. And let's go with another argument. You can have the personal transformations, and there happen to have these personal transformations. Now, if you think of someone who was shy, he became confident. You think of someone who was weak, and he became strong. Was lost. Someone was lost, but he found a direction. Did they did they become a new person, or did they reveal a hidden state? It was a state already existing in them. And this state has got that state of interaction and the collapse of the other functions. And in society, what you generally have the relationships. And relationships can grossly be thought in terms of the superpositions. And we can say that in relationships too, you are not the same person with everyone. With one person, you are extremely open. You can talk about anything in front of this person. And with another person, you're guarded. And maybe with another person, you are vulnerable. You are the same person, but you are living in different states. And this does not make you fake. Your one version is not fake. What it makes you basically is it makes you a human being. Because you can exist in multiple states at the same point of time. You're living in that superposition. You're not living in the classical Newtonian world. And there is certainly the unseen depth of these humans. And every human you meet contains worlds within. They are containing infinite number of worlds. They are containing unseen identities. They are containing unexpressed potentials, unexpressed fields, unspoken thoughts. They are the sea of these possibilities. So the next time you judge someone, and next time you try to become extraordinarily judging a person, you should stop. You should pause and remember. And what should you remember is you are seeing only one version of that personality, not the whole picture, not the whole of him. Now I've given a range of examples to make us understand. Now let's try to close this argument. And let me leave you with this thought. Let me say goodbye with this thought. And what is that? If a tiny particle can exist in multiple states. If a tiny particle can have infinite number of states at one point of time, then how vast must be the human being? You are not just one identity. You are a universe of possibilities. You are a cosmos of possibilities. To be expressed. So, with this, I would like to stop, and maybe in the next interaction, maybe in the next video, we'll explore something even more fascinating than that of superposition of societies that we tried in this video, and that is the observer effect in the society. So before the observer effect in the society, we're talking about the superposition. Now, how being watched changes the behavior of the particle. So until then, look within yourself.